Good morning, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took no trades this morning, but I'll show you what I was watching and why I didn't take any trades. If you look at my trading P&L for today, it's showing negative $9.90. Now that's because of my swing trade with SPXL. So you can see I have my filter set for today, and we'll pull this up and you can see that that's just my swing trade with SPXL. So I didn't take any trades today. So let's take a look first at the mid-cap screener. I'll show you how I find the stock. So I'm looking at my mid-ish cap screener, and you have to always click that three buttons and click modify, otherwise your filters will not be applied. And these are my filters, and this is why I call it the mid-ish cap screener, because the normal mid-cap range is 2 billion to 10 billion. And I organize the list by volume, and I only look at the stocks on the first page that are also making gains, so they have to be green in this percent change. And really the only ones I was looking at this morning were right here. Wish was trending down overall, I can show you that, but SPCE, WB, OCGN, they were all trending up in the 200 MA, so they were all on my list, but none of them were trading above the previous day high, so there were no trades that I could take on those. There was a trade that I missed on, I believe it was ZNGA, no, it was MMAT, right at 1025. It gave me an entry, but I didn't have it on my list because this thing was kind of on and off the first page throughout the morning. It didn't have that much volume, and then all of a sudden volume came in, and I just wasn't paying that much of attention because today obviously was a huge sell-off day, so it looked like there wasn't going to be anything. And by the time I noticed that it got back on the first page of the screener, I pulled it up on my chart, and it already gave me an entry and hit my target. So let me show you that really quick. So here's MMAT. So you could see, like in the morning, I had it marked out. Let's go to a larger time frame here. So you could see the previous day high was right here at 730. So I need to see the price come up and break that level. And it didn't look like it was going to do that. And also it didn't have that much volume. So it wasn't on the first page for the whole morning. So I took it off of my charts page. And then by the time it got back on the charts page, it was too late, or at least I noticed it too late, because right here was where my entry would have been for the break of this 1 minute candle, because it came up and broke through this level, then gave you a pullback here on this red candle, and then my entry is for the break of a 1 minute candle. So right here is the candle that I would have looked for it to break above. So the high of this candle is 735. You can see that right here when I hover over that candle. So I need to see 736, and my stop loss would have been 728. And I had already plugged that into the 2-hour calculator. So the target would have been 752, and you can see that it hit 756. So that would have been a successful trade. But by the time I saw it, it was like already over here, and I saw that it obviously hit my profit target. So at that point, I can no longer take a trade because the trade happened without me. And you just have to follow your rules and exercise discipline when that happens, and say, hey, you know what? You're not going to catch them all. And that's it. Because, today I definitely was not paying super close attention to the screener, because after about a half an hour, you could see just everything was just kind of selling off. SPCE made a nice run after the market open, but it was still trading way below its previous day high. So I don't take any trades. I don't trade reversals like that. I want to see strength in the stock, so that's why I wait for these. I mean, this stuff works out sometime, very rarely, but this is kind of like an anomaly type of a trade, and I don't want to be taking anomaly trades. I want to take trades with high probability, trades that typically work out. This is kind of a fluke type of a trade. So even though, yeah, if you knew what was going to happen ahead of time, you could have easily made money on this trade. No one knows what's going to happen ahead of time. So nobody knew that it was going to come back up heading toward that previous high, but you can see that it got nowhere near it really. So anyway, and then OCGN, same kind of thing. It wasn't trading anywhere near its previous high, selling off. I mean, this is all because the S&P 500 is selling off, the NASDAQ is selling off. So yeah, it's just kind of a sell-off day or profit-taking day, or maybe a shorting day if you're into shorting stocks. So that's it. So that's why I didn't take any trades today. So no wins, but no losses either. So one of my rules in my trading plan is it's always possible there would be no trades to take, and that was a really important thing to keep in mind today, because there was obviously major selling off, and if you try to kind of force a trade in a market like that, it could end up pretty badly. So MMAT was the exception, but again, I missed that trade. And the other thing that came to mind a lot today was this one: only look at stocks on the first page of the mid-ish cap screener, organized by volume. So like I said, that MMAT was kind of going on and off that first page, and that's why I missed it. So that's pretty much it. I don't think there was anything else interesting that I caught in the video. I'll just kind of scroll through it really quickly here. And you can see all the selling off at the open with the S&P 500. And most of the stocks were kind of doing the same thing. And then here it is at 9:45. Pretty much just everything selling off, and almost all of these stocks. This KGC was on the screener, but this is like a no volume thing, so I didn't really pay attention to that. And here you're gonna see where SPCE kind of curled around. And it didn't really coincide with, this is the NASDAQ and this is the S&P 500. It was kind of doing its own thing. And again, maybe some people capitalized on that. That's fine, but that's just not something I'm interested in jumping in on. That's a pretty risky trade. Yeah, and then ZNGA was also, looked good on the chart as far as the candlesticks were concerned, but the ranges of the candles were so small that there wasn't really any worthwhile trades to take. Like, my entry would have been right here, and the range of this candle, I think, was 2 or 3 cents. So I would have been looking at like a 6-cent per share profit target. So that's not really worth trading. So I just kind of ignored that stock. And I think that's it. At the very end, you'll see where I pulled up MMAT right there, and you can see my trade already played out that I would have taken, so too late to get in. So like I said, just exercise discipline. It's always better to miss a good trade than to be in a bad trade that you shouldn't have taken. So anyway, as always, make sure that you have a plan going into every single trade. Stick to your plan no matter what. Honor your profit target, take your stop losses, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.